Yeah, so news comes out quickly these days in football, and you think when you get to playoff football in the offseason, like you can record stuff, and then stuff doesn't change. Well, I released a video 3 hours ago, and then I left with my family. We went to this fun winter thing in Grand Haven, and I noticed while I was gone, I made a whole video about Zack Ertz and how Jared Goff said he was ready to play and everything, and then immediately after that, the Lions are not going to play tight end Zack Ertz. He didn't get called up. So I would say that's the bad news. We only have 2 tight ends. And you saw the title. They got good, they got bad, and they got interesting news. So I guess we have to talk about all of it. I guess the bad news is that the Lions don't have tight end Zack Ertz for this game. I thought they could use his services. I thought that might be really nice, to be honest with you. And it just wasn't. So it wasn't meant to be. I think the good news is that other than our tight end room and other than Jonah Jackson, we're really healthy. We're really healthy. And even in the tight end room, Laporta continues to get healthier. But I want to spend some of this talking about the interesting thing that we did. So here's the thing. When you look at this article, there's a few of them talking about it. Lions will not play Zack Ertz. All right, we know that. But then there's another one that's interesting. They elevate fullback Jason Cabinda, which totally makes sense. I expect that. All right, but they also elevate offensive lineman Michael Schofield. All right, so if you don't know who Michael Schofield is, he was drafted, I want to say in like 2014. He's out of U of M. He played a lot of, he's been a starting player, a starting caliber player. The Detroit Lions signed him to their practice squad. I believe he was only elevated for 1 game. He then was released, I want to say in December. He was released. And then he must have cleared waivers, and he's been sitting on our practice squad. Like, I just didn't even know about it. Now, here's the interesting thing about Michael Schofield. He didn't play at all this year. He hasn't played 1 snap for any team. He's spent his career doing some unique stuff, I guess is the best way to say it. But he has played recently in 2022 for the Bears. In 2021 for the Chargers. All right, he played half the season for the Bears last year. He played the entire season for the Chargers. He played very little in 2020 for the Panthers. And then in 2017 to 19, really 2015 to 2019, he was a full-time starter for the Denver Broncos and then for the Chargers. And he always put up decent numbers. He was a tackle in college, and he is definitely better at pass blocking than he is at run blocking. In his most recent year with the Chicago Bears, he was a pass blocking grade from PFF of 75 and a run blocking grade of 62.7. So up to very recently. Now, I don't know what the injury history is. He's 33 years old. Once you get on the north side of 30, 31, 32, you can plummet down. And so I don't know with him if it's one of those situations where he just lost it. I don't know if it's one of those situations where he's just not good enough to be better than the young talent. I don't know if it's one of those situations where, quite frankly, he's just not a good enough run blocker and he became immobile enough. But I have a question. Do you think the Lions would dare put Michael Schofield in at left guard? A guy who's played a large amount of left and right guard throughout this year. Would they dare put him in over Iwosika? Would they dare put him in? I'm just asking the question. It's interesting that they elevated him, but I think they mostly elevated him for depth, but they have depth there. They have Colby Sorsdahl coming off the bench. So, yeah, Schofield would be good to have an additional one. I'm processing through this. I wanted to get another video out there so that you weren't just sitting on the old one. Anyways, Yeah, I wanted to correct what I had said on the last one. I was really excited about it, to be honest with you. I thought he might play. He definitely will be ready for the Super Bowl if we win this game, and maybe get some snaps, but they must be comfortable with what Laporta and Ferkser are going to offer. Now let's just hope one doesn't get hurt, because then you're going to have Jason Kabinda out there, and you're going to have a lot of extra tackle sets. So it's going to be very interesting. Yeah, so there you go. And actually, Rodrigo can play a little fullback or tight end in a pinch if we have to, because we've seen him do it before. So, all right, thanks for watching. See you.